Well, welcome everyone to another video. This video is going to be a very special video. It's going to be showing you how to change recordings, or actually transfer them from one hard drive to the other. There are absolutely no videos on YouTube on how to do this with Directv receivers, and I want to be one of the first people to show you how to do this in 2021. There are plenty of things you need to be able to do, and plenty of restrictions that you might have while doing this in 2021. The first restriction is that opening up your Directv receiver will go against your TOS. If you do not have an owned receiver. This receiver, let me give you a little background on this receiver. This receiver was in service a couple years ago, and it was deactivated. So it still works with DVR because it was unplugged from the satellite before being deactivated. So the hard drive works great in it. It's got tons of recordings, and this is a 5 terabyte drive. Leave this alone. This doesn't matter to you. This is something else. But this here has some recordings on it. It's a 500 gigabyte. And for the tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to convert this to an HDST 1 terabyte. It's going to be converting recordings from here to here. So this is basically already opened up. It's an HR24. This is a 500 gigabyte HDD, and this is a 1 terabyte. So we're going to be transferring recordings from here to there. It's already plugged in. As you can see, I did a little bit of mods to make it so that I can have this in the enclosure of Directv. But your receiver will be off. It'll be opened up. So let's go talk about the things we'll need for the video. First, we're going to need a install of GParted, an ISO on a USB stick. It's got to be version 0.3.77. I have a full list of instructions here on how to install it. I will be showing you how to do that in this video. You're also going to need an HP computer, not HP, I just mean any computer that doesn't have an internal hard drive, or it can be a desktop PC. It just work just fine. This is some old HP that isn't that great anymore. It doesn't have an internal hard drive, as you can tell right here. There is no hard drive. And if you do have a hard drive, GParted will not work well. So you're going to need to have an internal hard drive, or you're not going to be able to have an internal hard drive. You're going to do everything externally. So you're going to have to plug this internally and plug that hard drive right there externally with this very cool tool right there. So they'll both be plugged in through USB, and this will be plugged in through USB. So the first step we're going to need to do is we're going to need to turn on our Directv receiver, plug it in. Do not plug it into the satellite if you're like me and your thing's deactivated and it's just being used for recordings, then don't do that. But however, if you do have active service, I would recommend connecting it to the satellite so it gets everything gets correct. Because if you don't connect it to the satellite, there's extra steps you need to do something called a Graceful shutdown so that the hard drive is ready to be used on the Linux platform. So let's get right into that, and let's begin this video. Alright, so we have successfully connected our receiver and the old hard drive. As you can see, it doesn't sound too well. It's time for it to go, so I just wanted to do a little bit of a video here. So I am using capture card to make it easier, for everyone to see what I'm doing here. It is not connected to a satellite dish, nor do I want it to connect it because I will totally ruin my recordings. Alright, so here we are with the 775 error. Okay, so I just want to show you all my current recordings. I don't have too many on here. This is just a tutorial on how to do everything. It's very simple, very short. I'm keeping it that way because I don't want you all to be waiting 25 minutes for my stuff or 25 years rather, for my stuff to do so. It's just 3 simple recordings, 3 simple things here on this hard drive. This hard drive. It's not on that hard drive. I will show you that I'm not lying here later on because some people don't believe me, but as you can see, you can see the time, the hours, 99% free on this 500 gigabyte hard drive. They all play just fine on my access card. No issues whatsoever. It plays just fine. It'll play on my computer now with the audio.
I don't have sweat glands. Give me some. That's better. Gross.
Plays just fine. No issues. Except the hard drive's going. That's the only issue. So I don't really want to keep it waiting here. It just takes a little second for it to show the video. It's just a little slow. There we are. But as you can tell, the video plays just fine. The hard drive is totally fine. I have an active access card DVR service without being connected to the satellite. But now, this is the important part. I've demonstrated to you that I do have recordings on there, and that the hard drive works just fine for me to transfer stuff over. And I'm going to demonstrate to you that there's no recordings on that HDST. But anyways, I'm going to show you what to do. It's called a Graceful shutdown. This will keep it so that you're going to be able to use the system on your hard drive. Are you going to use the system on your computer? So it's very mandatory. You cannot skip this step. It's very, very, very important, especially if you're not connected to the satellite dish. Like I am not connected to the satellite dish. If you screw this part up, you are gonna be very sad because it's gonna cause issues. All right, so we're gonna go to info and test, but at the top here, you're gonna go down to reset. Again, very important step. And then you're gonna click restart receiver, and you're gonna press the dash button right there. And you should see a blackout here. And now it's time for us to unplug the power cord after this has stopped. Like, you should hear everything stop working. It should stop. So you want to listen for the hard drive to stop working. And pull the plug. So ring a little bit here. It should still shut off in any second. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Undo. And that should be it. And yeah, we just did a Graceful shutdown on one hard drive. One more to go. So what we're going to do with this other hard drive now is we're going to put this in now, the new hard drive that needs to be formatted with the Directv system. That's another reason. You cannot use this hard drive without being formatted. So that's very important. So there's 2 SATA cables. You need to undo them. So let's undo them very quickly. 1, and let's see. It's very hard doing this and holding the camera. So 1, 2. Now this is ready to go into my enclosure right here. Flip, so it's the opposite way. So just be like right like that. Perfect. And we're all ready for this to be formatted. I'm not formatted, just copied off of. Now, as far as the HDST goes, put it in the receiver. Very simple. And connect the cables. So there's this is the data cable, and then there's the power cable. Data cable is equally as important as the power cable. You need both. You won't work with either. It'll work with the power, just won't work with the data because that's what keeps your receiver from working. So it should say serial SATA on it, and it goes this way, I believe. Yep. And then this is the power to your hard drive right here. So we are going to plug this into the new hard drive, and there we go. Okay, we're all set as far as that. We are now going to turn on our Directv receiver. Just plug it in because we just unplugged it to the Graceful shutdown as I just instructed before. All right, we just plugged it in here, and it is restarting, setting up. You should see your hard drive being formatted if it's not formatted already with the Directv system. New hard drive should be healthy, should work just fine. If it is not healthy, then you do not want to copy stuff to it, obviously, because it's not going to last for that long, and it's a waste of purchase. So if it's not healthy, you want to return it to that source you bought it from immediately, because it won't be good for you in the long term, 5 years. And as you can see, it says formatting storage device. Okay. It says formatting storage device, please wait. This is actually formatting the hard drive for Directv use. So it should take a couple minutes here, depending on how fast or slow your receiver is. And there we go. It took a minute. And it's now on the satellite screen. And there it is. It's playing just fine. Works great. And yeah, so very, very cool. And there it is. HR24 at its greatest. As far as this goes here, this is another, as I said before, it's an HP. It's very old, but it still works great. And this is the 16 gigabyte USB drive containing GParted version 0.3.7.7 that I got from, it says it right here. No, I got it from source for whatever. No, I didn't get it from there, actually. I got it from another website because that website doesn't work anymore. This article is from 2009, if you didn't know already. It's very, very old, but it still worked out, funny enough, because I used the same version. All right, so we should be greeted with the 775 error, good old 775, and here we are. It should do any minute now, 775, and we will go into the menu, and we will go visit the hard drive to show you that it has nothing on it. This should pop up, actually, in your hard drive. Say, watch your TV on the go, and you should go to playlist now, and you should see 100% free. Perfect. This is the new hard drive, new thing. It says 100% free. It should be perfectly ready for the Directv system. Again, it's mandatory to plug your new hard drive into the system and do a Graceful shutdown on it, because if you don't do that, it will never work. Nothing will ever work. So it's very crucial. All right, so as we did before, we're going to go into the reset option on your receiver and click on restart receiver. Hit that dash button, and I'm going to shut down my computer here and do a Graceful shutdown on this. We already just did everything we need to do. We just got to wait for it to shut down now. It takes a couple minutes here. Let me bring you here so you can see it shut down. And then we count to like 2 or 3, and then we unplug it. we go. So 1, 2. Perfect. Now we've done a Graceful shutdown on both. Now it's time to transfer over to this computer. This is done. We don't need this anymore. Or we do need it to make sure everything's transferred over correctly, but for now we don't need it. We can put this hard drive into another enclosure, this enclosure right here, and we will be on our way to setting up our Linux GParted. All right, everyone. So we have the new and old hard drives plugged in. This is the old one right here. The black one is old. The HGST 1 terabyte, where we can see that is right here. 1 terabyte hard drive from 500 gigabyte to 1 terabyte. Let's get started. Very excited to get started here. This is a HP ProBook 4540S. And the hard drive is, the USB drive is plugged in. It's got a install of multi-boot, or not multi-boot. I'm getting confused here. GParted Live version 0.3.77. Okay, so we're going to start with the default settings. Just click enter. And let me go here. It should do a bunch of things on your screen. It's going to take a very long time for this to happen. It takes very, very long, like 15 minutes for this whole process to take. I don't know why it's so slow. It gets like stuck on here for like 5 minutes. Very, very slow. I don't know why GParted made it so slow. It's just the way it is with GParted. They make things too slow, especially with the old version. This is an archive version of it, so I'm surprised it even works, and I'm surprised I'm still able to do this. So very happy it still works anyway. So it's very crucial that both your hard drives are connected and making sounds. So this one sounds good. This one sounds good. You can hear that. You can hear that both of them. They're both working great. So once you've heard that, but both were plugged in, sit back, relax, let this screen do its thing, and then we'll be back with you when we're on the choice screen in about, let's say 15 minutes. And all right, after about 15 minutes, our thing is ready. So it should be on the screen about key map rather. You're just going to click enter. Don't touch anything. And then click enter again. Don't touch anything. Click enter again. Don't press anything. And there we go. We should now be in GParted. So you do want to keep note of what these hard drive names are. It's very crucial to take note of what these are. They should be labeled SDB or SDC. SDB is usually your, I believe it's your new hard drive, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's your new hard drive. And SDC is your old hard drive. As you can see the difference in size here. This is the 1 terabyte, and this is the 500 gigabyte I was talking about before. This has all the Directv stuff on it. Clearly, they've been using stuff on it. It's very normal to see exclamation points on the two Directv file systems. That's more than normal. Don't be alarmed by that. Very normal, as I said before. All right, so now I'm going to set my recorder here on a post, and we are going to get started putting some commands in and having some fun. So let's get started. All right, so once you've noted down your, hard drive labels, SDB and SDC, you're pretty much good to go here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to minimize this window here, and we're going to go into terminal. You can double click on your touch bar, 1, 2, and you should be in. Now you're going to type in command, let's see here, mkdir space mnt, or dash mnt dash fap. All right, so we're going to type that command in very quickly. This is very crucial that you get the commands right. If you do not get the commands right, you could get error codes, you could get misunderstandings from the Linux system. It's very, very important to type these right, and you should just see nothing come up. You should just see that. It should just go a line extra. Now you're going to type in the same thing, except you're going to replace it to HR, whatever you have. Mine's an HR24, so I would type HR24. This article is very old. It just says HR20 because that's what the guy was using. But whatever receiver model you are using, I recommend you put that in. It doesn't really matter what you mount it as. It's just easier to put in your model number because you'll remember that more than you'll remember HR20. Unless if you actually have an HR20. I doubt anyone has that anymore. So because I'm actually using an HR24, I'm just going to say HR24 because that's what I have. And it should do another enter. And you're going to type in this long command here. This is mounting your new drive. As you can tell, this is SDA, SDA2. Do not use A at the end if that's not what your hard drive is. For example, mine's SDB, not SDA for my new hard drive. So I'm going to be using SDB, as you can see, because if I go back into here, it's very important that you get the right drive letters. You can minimize it here. If I go back into GParted here, my new hard drive, or the 1 terabyte I was talking about before, because it does not want to enter. Let me just go. Oh, there's stuff down here. Never mind. SDB, as you can tell, it's my new hard drive. So instead of saying SDA like this guy said, SDA, where is it right here? He said SDA. We're going to be using SDB to represent the new hard drive. So we're going to go out here, back into the terminal, and just exit out of this. We're going to go back into the it's called the mil term. I guess that's what the thing is called. And here we are. So now we're going to type in this long command. I'm going to show up on screen here how to do it. But it's called, let me see here. So it's mount space, it's a negative sign or a minus sign, T, and there's another space, XFS, another space, -0 or -0 space, RTDEV or RTDev, and then they're going to use an equal sign, type in dash dev dash SD, whatever drive letter your new drive is. Mine is B3, so I would type B3 space, another dash, dev space, SDB2. Do not use B3 twice. That you're gonna get an error. But once you've typed that, afterwards you're gonna click another. You're gonna say another space, and then say MNT, and then whatever one of these is, FAP. You have to follow these. You cannot not unuse them, and it would go through. It should go through just fine, and it should give you another command line. That you know it worked. Now we're gonna mount the other hard drive. So we're gonna say mount T space stuff. Same thing as before. It's just using different words for mounting it. So RT dev, again, same as before. Dash space dev, and then this time we're gonna say SDC3 because that's my old drive label. A dev, and then SDC2, and then mount. And then for this, we're going to say HR24 because that's our second variable. And click enter, and there we are. We just mounted both drives. After you've been through that, this is the final command. It's only 5 commands. It's very simple. And that command is going to copy your hard drive recordings. It's very important, very, very, very important that you type this in correctly. You're going to type in XFS dump. I know dump, very weird wording here. You would think but it really is, you're dumping it onto the new drive. That's why it's called dump. A negative, then a capital J, and then we're going to type in, let's see here, negative J, and then another negative, space, negative, and another space, MNT, and then HR24, or our old drive. This is our old drive. This is the old drive right here, SDC, and that's what we're doing, old drive. And then space. Then we're going to do I don't know what the symbol is for this. Let me see here very quickly. It's this space right here. It's this command right here. I don't know what that is. You just have to do shift, and it should look like something like this. And then we're going to type in another space, and then XFS restore. Okay. And then space, negative J. I apologize. I typed before I was able to do it. Negative J. All right. And then a negative again, space negative, and then MNT FAP. FAP is our new drive. We mounted the new drive first. And press enter. And it should stay stuck on this for a couple hours if your drive is new or not. But for me, it was like a minute. So because I don't have any recordings, as I showed before. But now it will get stuck on the restoring non-directory files for a couple minutes. Or not minutes, hours, whatever amount it takes. But after this, you'll be thankful because then it'll be successfully finished. It should just be stuck on restoring non-directory files. It's basically dumping it to here. Do not touch anything. Leave it alone. I have no recordings on my hard drive, so it doesn't really matter. But if you do, it's very, very important to wait and give it time. If you unplug your hard drives, you can say goodbye to both your hard drives because you'll ruin it. It should take a couple minutes here, or a couple hours, or a couple days. It doesn't, it depends. For me, I have like one SD recording and 2 HDs, about 30 minutes, not even like 20 minutes. So it'll take about a minute to do everything here, restoring non-directory files. So we can be very patient here, but I did this before the video started to make sure I was doing it correctly because, I am prone to mess it up because it's very long commands. So I just want to make sure I was doing it correctly. And it should be done here any minute now. And you'll be very thankful at the end because it'll say success. If it does not say success, then you probably did a wrong command, or your hard drive didn't do a graceful shutdown, or something like that. But as you can see, it just said restore success, dump success, and we're very happy to see that. So now what that means is that it just transfers from here to there. So now both of these hard drives should have the same recordings. I'm going to demonstrate that later just to make sure I'm not lying. But now we're going to unmount it. So we're going to type in the command mount, not unmount, mount. Let me zoom in on that, see the right command. It's mount. Then it's space dash mnt and then dash fap. This is unmounting your new drive. And then you're gonna say mount, again mount, not unmount, mnt, and then hr, whatever you mounted it as. For me, I did hr24 throughout this whole procedure, and there we go. I just unmounted both hard drives. Now we're gonna type exit into the command bar to exit out of the thing, and we are successfully done here. Now we're just gonna go into GParted and make sure that both the hard drives still appear and that they're both working well. This isn't the right one. These are the right ones. And as you can see, they're just fine. They look identical, kind of. Yeah, they're pretty identical. They copied over. Now we're going to click the X, and we're going to press right-click on the screen, type in exit, type in shutdown menu, then click on shutdown, just type it, and it should show an up arrow, and just click OK, and it should shut down your computer. If it does not shut down your computer, you can just hold down the power button. Do not unplug this. Do not unplug this. It's very important that you don't do that. You can just shut down the computer here. Or what I did before is I just took out the battery because I didn't want to like do anything corrupt. But I'm just going to hold the power button and shut these guys up naturally. And there we are. And we can now plug these into the DVR, and it should be all good and well. And that's basically it for us. Now, do make sure you did everything correctly. If your hard drive stuff isn't popping up, it's probably just a command error. We can retry. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. But as you can tell, this is the new hard drive we used. It's 1 terabyte. You know, you saw my whole video before. We don't need to ramble on about this. But I'm going to unplug both here. And we're going to connect it back into the computer, plug this in, and plug this in to prove that they both are cloned. So let's do that. All right, everyone, so we have now connected the new 1 terabyte hard drive. This is the old 500 gigabyte. That was the original, as you can tell. All 500 gigabyte. This is the new 1 terabyte. And my hr24 is just going through the setup process right now. We'll get that good old 775 error, and we will make sure that all the recordings are there, just as they should be. And I am actually, my heart's racing right now because I want to make sure it works, you know. Hopefully my setup tutorial works just fine. I didn't type any errors, or I didn't type anything incorrectly, but if I did everything correctly, I should see recordings. I should see 99% free, not 100% free. And there it is, bro. It freaking worked. There it is on the new hard drive. All the recordings, everything's similar. Proof, I'm holding the old hard drive right now. I'm holding it. It's not plugged in. This is the new hard drive plugged in. It's making noises. There it is. This is the old hard drive. This is the new hard drive. And I will play for you a movie. I'm just going to play the Amazing World of Gumball. And there it is, playing just fine on the new hard drive. I successfully transferred over everything. Same thing.
One ice cream, please.
On the new hard drive.
You're such a polite boy, and you guys are my last customers. This one's on the house.
Mother, is it not ironic?
And there it is, playing just fine on the hard drive. No glitches, no issues. And there it is. This is the new hard drive.
Oh, give us a break, man. You just
Perfectly working. So, now that you know that's working on all of the Amazing World of Gumball, we will restart this and put in the old hard drive just to prove it's not a clone or something, you know, because people nowadays, they don't believe anyone. Again, I'm gonna take this out of the closure, take out the cords here. We will take this out and put in this new guy, this old hard drive, just to prove that I cloned the correct hard drive, and I'm not like trying to trick you. Again, just put the new hard drive, old hard drive, I apologize, old hard drive in. This is the 500 gigabyte hard drive. Okay. It's in, completely plugged in now. We will restart the DVR. Again, this is the old hard drive. Not old, new hard drive. I keep saying old, new. This is the new hard drive. We transfer the recordings to here. 1 terabyte. We transfer the recordings to there. We will just plug this in, prove to y'all that it's working just fine. And that'll conclude our video. Right. No, it's not letting me do it. Okay, there we go. We'll go into playlist, and it should be exactly the same as that other HR20. Other hard drive. Here it is. The same thing, same stuff. With a different hard drive. Hard drive here was duplicated. There it is. Let me just play another Amazing World of Gumball. It will not know to where to resume because I just did it on a different hard drive, but
There you go.
working just fine. Again, being glitchy, but it still somehow works.
Oh, come on, don't exaggerate.
One ice cream, please, good sir.
Since you're such a polite boy, and
Very
you guys
slow,
are my
very
last
slow.
customers,
Come on, let's
this
speed
one's
up here.
on the house.
Mother, is it not ironic we get free food when clearly we can
And there
afford
we
to
are.
pay for it?
Completely working. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Peace out.